January 1st, new year, new goals, new you. This is the year you're going to build that house. Start to finish, 12 months, buy that car, start that business, launch, profit, success, all by December. Change careers, go from here to somewhere completely different. 1 year. We sit with our notebooks, make the plan, tell ourselves, this is realistic, this is doable, this is the year, and we mean it. But nobody tells you this. When December comes, you don't feel behind, you feel like you failed. We overestimate 1 year and underestimate 5 or 10. Let me tell you about a house. It started, as so many big plans do, with a simple promise. My wife and I sat down one January, the air thick with the optimism of a new year. We'd been saving for what felt like an eternity, meticulously putting away every spare kwacha. We had been planning, sketching our future on napkins and dreaming out loud during late-night talks. And on that day, we looked at each other and made a pact. This is the year. This is the year we stop dreaming and start building. We're going to build our first house, our own home, from the ground up, start to finish, January to December, 1 year. It sounded so simple, so achievable. We had the key ingredients, or so we thought. We had a beautiful piece of land, a legacy from family that was waiting for its purpose. We had our savings, a respectable sum that our spreadsheets told us was enough. And most of all, we had confidence, a boundless, unshakable confidence that only comes from pure, unadulterated inexperience. We had absolutely no background in building, no properly priced bill of quantities from a professional, no real gut-level understanding of what construction in Zambia actually involves, the delays, the supply chain issues, the sheer, grinding effort of it all. We were armed only with our own judgment, our own amateur math, our own deeply held belief that if we just worked hard enough, managed the funds smartly, and poured enough of ourselves into it, the house would simply happen. So, we started. Ground was broken in a flurry of excitement. The foundation was laid, a concrete promise of the home to come. And every month, we faithfully pumped money into that project. Every salary, every side hustle earning, it all went into the earth. Through February, March, and April, we watched the walls begin to rise, and every month, we told ourselves we were perfectly on track. The 1-year plan was working. We started the year with so much certainty. We had the plans, we had the land, and we had a timeline that felt solid. 1 year. It seemed so simple, so achievable. We mapped out every stage, from the foundation to the final coat of paint. We pictured ourselves celebrating the new year in our new home, a dream we had poured our hearts into. The excitement was a tangible thing, a constant buzz in the air. We were finally building our future. But the months flew by, and the reality on the ground moved at a different pace. December came, and the silence on the site was deafening. We'd barely reached roof level. The house wasn't just unfinished, it was a skeleton, a stark reminder of how far we still had to go. The frustration was heavy, a physical weight we carried every day as we looked at the half-built walls standing against the evening sky. And the confusion was just as heavy, because we'd done everything we said we would do. We had been disciplined, we'd saved every kwacha we could. We'd sacrificed the small joys, the holidays, the nights out. We'd put in the money, on time, every time. We held up our end of the bargain completely. So why wasn't it done? Why was our dream stalled while the trusses lay waiting on the ground? To make it worse, someone we knew had just finished their house. They started after us and finished in 2 years. Their success became a mirror reflecting our own perceived failure. We started to think, we're doing something wrong. There must be a secret we don't know, a mistake we're making. The comparison ate away at our confidence. We had to recalibrate. We told ourselves, next year, it's okay, we'll finish next year. It became our mantra, a promise to keep the hope alive. Year 2 began, same energy, same commitment. We were ready to push even harder, but year 2 had its own surprises waiting for us. The budget we had so carefully planned started to unravel. There were hidden costs we didn't know existed, small fees and permits that added up. Then came the inflation that changed our material prices almost overnight. The cost of cement, of steel, of roofing sheets, it all climbed, stretching our finances thinner and thinner. Then came the rework on things we thought were already done, correcting mistakes that cost both time and money. And on top of it all, emergencies that pulled funds away. A family illness, a sudden car breakdown. Life, with its unpredictable demands, continued to happen, refusing to pause for our construction schedule. And by the end of year 2, still not finished. The roof was on, but the inside was a hollow shell. The exhaustion had set in, deeper than before. At that point, the dream felt more like a burden. We almost gave up, but then something shifted. At the end of year 2, I stopped focusing on the end. I stopped thinking about finishing the house, and I started thinking about stages, steps, process. The weight of the project was crushing us. The single monolithic goal of build a house had become a source of anxiety, not inspiration. It was too big, too abstract. So one evening, we decided to change the rules of the game. We sat down, not with a calendar, but with a blank sheet of paper. We dismantled the giant. We broke it down into its fundamental parts, not as a timeline, but as a sequence of tangible actions. Plumbing, wiring, plastering, roofing, flooring, painting. Each stage was a project in itself, with a clear beginning and a clear end. This shift in perspective was revolutionary. We projected the cash flow for each individual stage, understanding exactly what was needed and when. We calculated material costs at each phase, visiting suppliers not with a vague list, but with a precise order for the task at hand. The paralyzing question, when will this entire house be done, was banished. It was replaced by a more powerful, more practical one. What's the next stage, and what does that stage need? This new question gave us agency. It gave us a clear, achievable target to aim for, one after the other. And so, we progressed. Stage by stage, brick by brick. 8 months later, the house was finally complete. But it wasn't 1 year like we originally planned. It wasn't even 2 years like we hoped in our revised plan. The final tally was 2 years and 8 months, almost 3 full years. 3 times longer than our initial, wildly optimistic estimate. Looking back, the goal itself was never too hard. The work was manageable. The challenge was our relationship with time. We had anchored our emotions to a fantasy timeline, a number we'd plucked from the air. If we had known from the very start that this was a 3-year journey, we would have felt patient. We would have felt successful at every milestone. We would have been on the actual schedule, the real schedule, not the imaginary one that only served to create pressure and disappointment. The most important thing we built wasn't the house. It was a new understanding of patience and progress. There's a story about a Chinese bamboo tree. A farmer plants a bamboo seed. Year 1, waters it, fertilizes it, tends the ground, nothing appears. Year 2, same care, same effort, still nothing above ground. Year 3, still watering, still waiting, still nothing visible. Year 4, same routine, no tree. Most people would have given up by now, but the farmer keeps going. Then in year 5, the bamboo breaks through. In 6 weeks it grows 24 meters. Did it grow in 6 weeks or in 5 years? It grew in 5. The roots were spreading, the foundation strengthening, preparing for visible growth. Like building without roofing for years, outsiders think nothing is happening. Underground, everything is. Think about yourself as a baby. You couldn't walk, talk, feed yourself. But nobody called you a failure, because everyone understood. Process. Babies crawl before they walk. Primary school before university. We expect progress appropriate to the stage, not completion. At university, you knew it would take years. No partial degrees, nothing until the end. But you persisted because you knew the timeline. Now apply that to your house, business, finances. If you knew it would take 5 years, would you quit in year 2? Or would you keep going because you're on schedule? Here's what changes when you think in years, not months. Frustration disappears. You expect appropriate progress. Want to build wealth? If you think it's a 1-year goal, December disappoints. If it's a 10-year journey, year 3 feels like success. You're still building, still on track. Same goal, different timeline, different emotions. Starting a business. Year 1, learning. Year 2, adjusting. Year 3, stabilizing. Year 4, growing. Year 5, profiting. Expect profit in year 1 and you'll quit in year 2. Expect the progression and you'll be right on schedule. Some goals are lifelong, like raising children or personal growth. No finish line, just stages. So think in years. You're not behind, you're early. Year 2 of a 5-year bamboo. Expect appropriate progress, not instant completion. Stop overestimating 1 year and underestimating 5 or 10. When you extend the timeline, you become patient. You ask, what's the next stage? You water the bamboo when nothing shows. You build when the house looks unfinished. You stay enrolled until the degree is in hand. One day, you'll look up. The bamboo is 24 meters, the house complete, the degree earned. It wasn't hard, it just took time. Kwacha, it has dawned. You're not failing, you're just early. If this reframed something you've been struggling with, subscribe. These conversations build on each other. Until next time, Kwacha Life Lessons, progress over perfection, process over outcomes.